For 250 years, Spanish was the predominant language of New Mexico and the Southwest. From southern Colorado through the major towns along the Rio Grande corridor in New Mexico to El Paso, Texas, the Spanish language press enlightened, engaged, and enraged its citizens. Long before the invention of the printing press, the earliest record of the written word in the United States can be traced to Gaspar Pérez de Villagra, who wrote the epic poem La Historia de Nuevo Mexico in 1598. His narrative chronicles the journey of Juan de Oñate and the first European founding of America. Spanish language publication in New Mexico began when Padre Antonio José Martinez, Ramón Abreu, and Antonio Barrero brought the first printing press to Santa Fe in August of 1834. Coincidentally, the Spanish language press also ended in Santa Fe with the last edition of El Nuevo Mexicano on April 30th, 1958. From 1880 through 1935, more than 190 Spanish language newspapers were established in more than 30 communities in New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, and Texas. Publisher Enrique Salazar is seated in the wagon outside of his office of El Independiente in Las Vegas, New Mexico in 1900. At the turn of the 20th century, Francisco Kiko López, fourth from left in this photograph, played a significant role with New Mexico's Spanish press. His brand of truthful journalism flourished despite the strong opposition he often faced. López lost his first newspaper to arson. He managed to salvage the printing machinery, and his mother's dining room became his makeshift plant. Among the newspapers he edited were La Voz del Pueblo, El Independiente, Revista Católica, La Opinión Pública, the San Miguel Star, the Mora County Star, and El Fronterizo, published in Arizona. Benjamin Reed was born in 1853 to a Mexican mother and an Anglo father who had come west with General Stephen Kearny's troops in 1846. He was raised in Santa Fe with his two brothers and graduated from St. Michael's High School. He went on to become a respected attorney, the superintendent of Santa Fe Public Schools, and an elected member of the territorial legislature. Reed's true passion was studying history, particularly Hispanic history of the Southwest. He was an author of several books in Spanish and frequently wrote in Spanish for the local newspapers. His first major work, Guerra Mexico-Americana, the Mexican-American War, was published in 1910. Reed Street in the Santa Fe Rail Yard District is named in his honor. Felipe M. Chacon was a well-known poet and the editor of several Spanish-language newspapers. Writing in Albuquerque's La Bandera Americana in the 1920s, he repeatedly warned that the Spanish press needed to assert its worth or it would disappear. After World War II, the trends Chacon saw as detrimental to Spanish-language publication came to fruition. By the 1950s, only El Nuevo Mexicano was still being published in Santa Fe. Pedro Rivera Ortega was the last Spanish editor of El Nuevo Mexicano. Ortega was witness to the end of an era. As he wrote in the final issue in 1958, Las generaciones jóvenes pueden leer solamente en inglés. The younger generations are only able to read in English.